Hello and welcome to another episode of Love Revolution. I'm your host, Mia Saenz, and in this segment sitting next to me is Bonnie Gayle. And before I send it over to Bonnie Gayle, I want to warm us up how we normally start our retreat, and that would be to get your yummy drink. Pause this if you need to, get your yummy drink, whatever it may be, yay, and right now I have my water, and get your notepads, your journals, your colored pens and pencils, anything you need to be relaxed, and then do your breathing exercises, especially for this segment because we're going to be talking about body love and sexual wellness. And so we want you to be really grounded in your body. So remember to do your breathing in and out and pushing it down and exhaling anything that's unwanted. And so then when you're ready, hit pause again or unpause us and we'll begin. Now at this point, I'm going to have Bonnie take it away. Will you share, Bonnie? And this is Bonnie Gayle, everyone. She's magnificent. Hello. Will you share with us, honey, about your journey on creating sex butter and getting into the body love and the body sexual wellness as well, because they're both two crazy stories that blend together to create who you are, which is how life is.
Yes. And the body love story started first, and really they kind of ended up merging together, but I was always somebody who was really concerned with what I looked like. And when I started growing, I became, I was growing really fast, and people were always commenting on my look. So you're too tall, you have big feet, you have this, that, all that kind of stuff. And so I was getting criticized a lot for what I looked like. People would tell me that I was not photogenic. You shouldn't have pictures taken of you because you really don't look good. And I started to become extremely self-conscious, if you can even imagine that. And then when I was 16 years old, I was date raped. And after that, I really kind of went into a tailspin of binging and purging, and I developed an eating disorder, and it took me, I was on that path from the time I was like 16 years old until I was 29, when I almost literally died at the age of 28 from binging and purging. Finally, when I was 29, I got some help, and when I really healed the eating disorder is when I really realized the body image issue was so strong. And what happened was I realized that I don't really like the way I look. I don't really love the way I look. I don't love myself. And so then I started my journey of like learning to love myself, which, was a process. It wasn't like something like overnight where I just said, oh my God, you're so beautiful, and today I can look in the mirror and really not just look at myself and say that I'm beautiful, but I believe that I am beautiful. And my beauty stems from within and shines outward. And so I'm not only physically beautiful, but I am a beautiful woman on the inside as well. And I believe that, and I feel that, and I see that. And, this is super, super important to me. And meanwhile, on that journey, one of the ways that the eating disorder affected me and the rape affected me is that I started being extremely promiscuous. I was not about pleasure, I was about dominating sexually. And when I went into perimenopause, all of those things did not serve me well because my body changed overnight and everything became painful. Walking around became painful. Sex became painful. I kind of went into this like zone where even though I loved myself as a person, like now my body was rejecting, I used to love to do, which was be sexually active. And I always had safe sex, like I was using condoms and things like that. It wasn't that, but I didn't know anything about lubricants or anything else when I was younger. And as I got older and realized that I had this issue, I finally went to the doctor, after talking to a million people who had no experience with this. Nobody understood what I was going through. And the doctor told me that I had the beginning stages of vaginal atrophy. Now, at this time, I was 41 years old. I was eating about 50% organic. I was starting to understand about ingredients, and I went out to purchase a lube because the doctor told me to use lube and have sex more often. That was my prescription to get rid of vaginal atrophy and to get rid of the pain. And I started looking at the ingredients in lube, and I was like horrified. There were ingredients that had parabens in them that caused cancer. There were lubes that had antifreeze in them, and all kinds of other really toxic, harmful ingredients that I knew that if I was going to use on my most precious parts, I was going to be ruined. Like, it may not happen today or tomorrow, but like in the future, at some point in time, I was going to have a problem. So that was my journey to realizing that I needed to create something that didn't exist. And the first version of that came out was Sex Butter. And since that time, I have created a reformulated version of Sex Butter that is even better than the first version, along with a secondary product called Boudoir Butter. And both of these products are healing, they're loving, they're organic, they're good for you, they're healthy for the skin and tissue, they are feel-good products that you can use safe and comfortably, and they smell incredible. One of them has a stimulant. Sex Butter has an added bonus of peppermint for those of you who are not feeling your libido. And the Boudoir Butter is really all about the healing, and it smells like white chocolate, so who doesn't love that smell? And it really makes you feel good. And if you have any burning or really painful, prickly, any type of negative feeling down there, it's incredible. So those are why I created Sex Butter. And so then I really kind of went onto the path of educating about body image, positive body image, body love, and sexual health and vaginal health. Because what I realized is I didn't know any of these things. And there's no place that you can go, there's no school that you go to that's going to teach you this kind of stuff. So I actually found a little niche of things that people weren't talking about that may be beneficial to people, especially now that many of us are baby boomers, and even if we're not baby boomers, if we can do things to prevent some of the things that could be toxic, that could be happening in the future for us, we can be preventative. And so that's my whole interest came from, in talking about these topics and educating other people on them.
It's awesome. It's really important. I know when I first tried Sex Butter, I found it, the peppermint, I found it does get your she-la going. It really does.
Wakes up that libido, wakes her up.
Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, and it's really is nice to put on something down there that's organic, holistic. Also, it has healing properties in them. I remember you telling me before that there's an antifungal, and is that correct?
So all of the oils are antifungal and antibacterial, and I can't make any claims, but if you think about the ingredients that you use in something, if every ingredient is antifungal and antibacterial, then most likely the product that you're using could be that as well without making those claims, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason that's important is because you don't want to get yeast infections or urinary tract infections from lubricants that you are using. And many of the lubricants out there, people are getting yeast infections from because they actually have ingredients that are toxic and harmful to the body. And some of these are FDA approved. Okay, so I don't want you to have the misconception that because something's FDA approved, it is necessarily good for you, because that isn't true.
You know what's interesting? I recently went to a Touch of Romance, a little bit more of a softer adult store to check stuff out. And there were like do you, I even texted you when I was there because I said, Dave said to me, do you need any lubes? And I said, oh, I only use sex butter. And then I thought I'd look at them. I said, that's organic and holistic. And they said, oh, well, we've got organic. And I said, really? Let me see. So I looked at it, and it had 3 ingredients that I did not even recognize the name, or I recognized it as, being in other products. And I thought, that is not organic. And I said that to the woman. I'm like, how far can people push the limits on what they can say is organic and what they can say is not? You know, I mean, it's really surprising.
Well, okay, so here's the deal, is like, and a lot of people may say something's organic, like that it's organic, they call it organic, if they have like even one ingredient that's organic in it. You know what I mean? Like, but that doesn't mean that everything is. So you have to look and you have to ask questions, because there's certain things, like I just checked out recently that was new that I can't remember the name of right now. And somebody sent it to me and said, how would you compare this to sex butter? Mm. So they had 2 ingredients in it that were organic, and then like the last 3 ingredients were not only not organic, but chemicals. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, look, we have no chemicals in our product. That's a big deal to me, to be able to say, I don't have anything synthetic in there. I don't have any parabens. I don't have any GMOs. I don't have anything that has pesticides. I don't have anything that has any toxicity or junk in it. It's all good. Think about ingredients. All of the ingredients in my product have a purpose, and the thing that I love about them is that all of them are ingredients that like shea butter, coconut oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil. What do you not, and peppermint, like what do you not know about any of these things? These are all things you've heard of. They're not like, like hydrocellulose, da-da-da.
Right.
What the heck is that? Propylene glycol? What is that? That's antifreeze. Methyl and ethyl parabens. What are that? Those are cancer-causing agents. And the reason that they use these things is because they're usually using them as binders. So, they want to hold the product together, and that's great. I mean, and that's why, I don't love shipping sex butter when it's super hot out, because it doesn't stay together. And then I have to tell people, stir it up and put it in the refrigerator and it will reconstitute. But the thing is that at least when you're getting that product, what those things are that you're putting on and in your body. Mm-hmm. Right. Where these other things, you don't know what they are. And then when you search them, like on the cosmetic list of, ingredients of toxicity, and you see that like they're cancer causing and that there's warning signs all over the place and they're level 4 and level 5, that's scary. But nobody's telling us this.
It is scary. It is scary.
And the FDA is saying it's okay to use this stuff.
Mm-hmm. So what do you recommend besides sex butter? And we are wanting to turn into our body. What areas would you like us to focus in on as a way to heal certain sexual wellness things?
Okay, so I want to talk about something that I'm going to actually start doing, because I just ended a relationship. I want to get more back connected to my vagina, to my body, and I'm going to do this 30 days of She Love Challenge. And I would love for you
to love that.
With me, Mia, because I think that I have done this in the past, and every time I do this, I get more reconnected with my body, and everything in my life changes. And I'm kind of like ready for some shifts to happen in my life.
Very cool. I'm in.
Hey!
I've noticed that I ignore her. I ignore her.
Do you even look at her?
Not in a couple years.
Do you send her any She Love messages? Like, do you talk to her?
Nope.
Okay, so like this is going to be like an amazing 30-day challenge. Now,
it will be.
I'm going to suggest different things that you can do. You don't need to do all of them every day, but I'm going to suggest some things that I do when I practice Sheila.
Okay.
So one of the things that I do is I always make sure I'm wearing like a cotton crotch if I'm wearing underwear. And if I'm going commando, that's okay too. And I do like to go commando during She Love time. Doesn't mean you have to. What are the products that you are using to bathe with? You know, if you're taking a bath or you're taking a shower, what kind of products are you using on her? Are you using products that are organic and healthy? Or are you using regular crappy soap that has all kinds of toxic stuff?
You're not going to be happy with me. I use a bar of dial, and then I use a gel dial.
Okay, no more. No more.
What do you use?
So I use Dr. Bronner's. It's a big bottle.
I know it, yeah.
Lavender one.
I used to use it all the time.
I dilute it. So I have another big bottle. I just put like an inch of Dr. Bronner's in it, and the rest is water. So the Dr. Bronner's lasts a really long time that way. It's not expensive. And that's what I wash my body with. And that's what I wash her with.
That's what I'm going to do.
Putting good stuff into her and outside of her, and she's happy. Okay,
Sure.
So that's my tip for that.
Okay. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to use it and enjoy it.
Good.
And so why don't we come back in 30 days and pick up where we are?
Oh, wait,
so
I'm not done.
Okay, but does that sound good to you?
Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely do that.
Okay.
We have to do the before and after, because I want to know, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me over 30 days.
Okay,
I want to know what happened to you, because you're an outside person doing this for the first time. So maybe nothing's going to happen to you. You know, maybe I have this all in my head and it's a placebo. I don't know. But I'm going to be really curious to see what happens with you. Okay, so some of the other things that I suggest is that you take a mirror and you actually physically look at her and you really look at what she looks like and you admire her. You give her messages of beauty and love and appreciation. Like, how much do you really appreciate her? I mean, you know, when you're walking around every day and doing all the things that you do and she's not in pain, you probably ignore her. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, when something happens and all of a sudden she's in pain, all of a sudden you realize how you are taking advantage of her feeling good on a daily basis. And, you know, I think that the more love that you give her, the more the more ideal that would be for her, and the more that she will not in the future give you need to feel pain or have a problem, you know, get a yeast infection, get a UTI. When you are loving her and taking care of her, then those things won't happen. When a year ago, when I wasn't taking care of her and I wasn't, you know, giving her love, she let me know, and I had a UTI that was really super bad and lasted for quite a while. And after that, I started, you know, after it happened twice, because I didn't learn the first time, I had to go back and do it again. And now I totally take care of her, and she is totally loving me, and we have no more UTIs. Mm-hmm. So, awesome. You know, I believe that, you know, you need to do these things. Self-pleasuring, okay? That doesn't mean you need to do it 24/7. Like, give her some tender, loving care. Come on. You know, like, you need to let her know that you love her and that you appreciate her and you want her to experience pleasure just like you want to experience pleasure. You want to be happy. You got to make her happy.
You know, the interesting thing, Bonnie, is just because, say, people are in a relationship and they may not be getting sexually pleasured, doesn't mean that we still can't pleasure ourselves on a basis that we find individually that serves and is right for us. Because we know, you and I know, and a lot of people in this industry know, that the orgasmic energy that comes out is very healing for our body. Not only does it change our mood and our attitude, but it's really healing if we kind of push that beautiful energy into the areas that need relief or love. And and it gets our body very totally alive. There's nothing more alive than feeling an orgasm.
And a woman on fire. That's an orgasmic woman on fire, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like I know that I need that for myself right now, because I just got out of a relationship that kind of drug me down for a while, and it's time for me to liven up, to feel good, to attract men, to really just wake up to my own body and back to my love. I am launching a new, the boudoir butter, and it's time for me to be in a good place. And so this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to suggest you do. And then in 30 days, we're going to get back to each other, and we're going to talk about what happened.
Awesome. I'm very excited. All right. So we will see all of you in 30 days.
See ya.
Bye. Hello, everyone. It's been 32 days, and we're back to talk about our 30-day vagina love, and it was remarkable. So I'm going to turn it back over to Bonnie and let her instigate our conversation regarding the vagina love, because it was incredible for both of us. So, Bonnie, it's all yours.
Okay, great. So what we're going to talk about is that both Mia and I had a 30-day challenge of really loving and acknowledging our vaginas for 30 days. And that includes everything from self-pleasuring to all of the ingredients that we were going to use in anything.
I'm so embarrassed.
Those, our bath products, like everything, whatever was going to go next to our vagina, we were going to give all healthy ingredients, good products. Like, for instance, if you were wearing underwear, you were going to have like cotton crotch in the underwear. You weren't going to wear anything that was synthetic next to her. And we were going to acknowledge her. We were going to look at her. And we were going to just give her really super positive messages. So that's what the She Love 30-Day Challenge was. And now what we're going to talk about, and I want to ask Mia, is I want to know how giving your vagina 30 days of love changed your life. I want you to talk about how she felt, how you felt, how it affected, your business, your personal life, your friendships, just everything in your life, because, that's what this is about.
Yes, exactly. It's okay. Thank you. So it was amazing. What I'd first like to say is I learned years ago to cut out all everything has to have a cotton liner. It absolutely has to. So if you're one of those that do not, remember it causes yeast infections and everything else not to have a cotton liner. So, and our little girl wants to be all fresh and happy. And when you said she, as far as the she love, I was thinking, Australians call girls Sheilas. It's perfect. So my little Sheila was very happy. I actually changed, as you heard Bonnie and I talking, I changed from, I think we were talking about Dr. Bronner. So I got the lavender Dr. Bronner's, and I diluted it into a big water bottle, with a squirty thing in the shower bathtub that I could use, and that was remarkable. So day one was that. Yeah, and I find that I love it better than the dial that I was using before. I don't even use dial anymore. I mean, it really it goes right to cleaning your armpits and everything else. I mean, it's amazing. So just because it's non-toxic and holistic absolutely doesn't mean that it's not good. It means that it's better, and it's just incredible. So my experience was first with that, and that was really surprising to me. I was cleaning and going, wow, this is really amazing, and it's better for me. So then I took a gander at her, and in a mirror, which I haven't done in a very long time, and it's crazy because we often don't like what our vaginas look like until we fall in love with her. Yeah, and every vagina is different looking. I mean, they're similar, but they're different. So day two, I went into the process of talking to her and and even in day one, saying I love you, and I would actually on the outside of my clothes pat myself, I love you, because when we forget different body parts and body love, when we pay attention to them, it's remarkable the deeper connection that we get. And I shared mine with Bonnie before, and she's like, wow, this is really amazing. So day 3, I felt like either I was in the Matrix or something. I just felt like an inner explosion within me. I realized that I want, and I'm going to say this on camera, I realized I wanted more sex. And so, as Bonnie knows, I'm a very sexual, sensual person anyways. Used to have a super duper high libido, and I guess that's why I was a sex and relationship coach for so long, before switching to a spiritual and self-love. So it opened up my relationship with my husband differently, which was very cool. A lot of things have rippled and shifted in our relationship. Taking care of myself in all ways has come up as well. I think that when we take care of one part, other parts shift up and move. As Bonnie knows, I had 2 weeks of a stomach condition where I was on bone broth. Here she is, guys. But now I'm actually able to eat again. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when we shift our attention to one thing, something else says, "Hey, you've forgotten about me. Pay attention to me." So that's what happened to me in addition, which is great because then I had x-rays and blood tests, and I'm perfect, and which is awesome. You know, it's good to always have a doctor say, "Don't know what's wrong." And I said, you know, after I hung up, well, it's the universe saying to me, wake up even more, girl, you know, and I'm already pretty awake. So it was really interesting. Regarding my work, it made me realize that I need to include this in my work as well with my clients. And I have, you know, I've said, hey, besides your, you know, honor baths, I really want you to pay attention to your vagina. And so, and of course, always sharing, this is what Bonnie and I are doing and loving it. I've really enjoyed the experience. I'm going to continue on because just like body work and all that, we love it. And also another incredible thing was because I've forgotten my vagina for so long in regards to honoring her like this, that I also started including my feet. And in the spring, I had 10 fractures in one foot and 2 bone spurs coming out of my heel. And I haven't walked since then. And so yesterday, I walked for the first time without pain. So what that tells me is not only am I giving more attention by the foot massages, the honoring of my feet, which is our foundation, it's really, there's a lot of healing in my overall body that's taking place. A lot of people call it detoxing. Well, the 2 big things, the tummy and the feet, were, you know, obviously huge things to have come up and to be shifted into healing. So I'm very, very happy and very grateful about it.
Oh my God. So what you're saying to me is that it really affected every area of your life. It improved your relationship with your husband. It gave you more tools that you could use in your work life with your clients.
Yes.
It made you more body aware, and it made you feel better, you know, about yourself and the things that you were using on her. Mm-hmm. And she felt grateful for the awareness and the love, you know, like, you know, you talk about self-love. It's like, you know, your vagina is a part of you. If you're not loving her, you're not fully loving yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that the last thing that you also said was that it brought attention to other areas of your life that you weren't taking care of, that you now started taking care of, and, you know, are feeling better because of it. Yeah. So overall, it was like it benefited everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been magical. And I want to also point out that sometimes spending a little more money saves us money in the long run. And not just at the doctor's, but using that other product and diluting it so that I can have it in the shower. I've gone through 2 big, you know, 24-ounce things of it, you know, not the concentrate, but the diluted form. And I still have, obviously, probably this much of a bottle left, you know, of the concentrate. So that tells me that I've gone through 2 bars of soap and one like maybe half of a liquid dial in that amount of time. if not more. So it was incredible to be able to see that too.
And you know what? And I bet your skin feels better too.
Yeah,
Like
everything's
because
happier.
something organic that has some oil in it. It's not like drying you out. I mean, it really, it did a lot. You know, it probably did things that you weren't even thinking of also, which is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to me? Wow, it's interesting because a month ago my relationship ended. So, and he moved out. And so all of a sudden, as I was starting my little she thing, it was like literally like 1 or 2 days after that happened. And it was just, the timing was like so incredible. So for me, oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I want to say that she inspired me to make a lot of changes really quick. I'm, redoing my entire apartment. And I started with the bedroom, which is not ironic. Mm-hmm. Literally painting the whole place, and I'm going to be painting my bed, and I'm changing some of the furniture, and I'm getting rid of things, including photographs and pictures, not photographs of him, but like artwork that I have. Mm-hmm. I feel re-inspired. I have, my new product that's launching, and I committed to 2 huge trade shows, one this month and one next month. My business is flourishing. Even my accounting business is picking up more money. I just got, new clients on a fly that were completely unexpected, that were kind of like a windfall because I have to do like the whole year of 2014 in like 3 days. Mm-hmm. For 4 different businesses. What else happened? She's really happy. Like, I found that, like, I'm, like, basically self-pleasuring almost every day. And she's, like, a happy camper. She's not feeling, like, I'm using my product, Sex Butter or Boudoir Butter, one of the two, every single day. And so she's very happy. There's no dryness feeling. She was getting to, like, feel a little dry. She's, like, not dry. She's happy. And I want to say that 3/4 of the month I went commando. I wore no underwear. And I just wore my little Go Commandos cotton patches. And so she has been able to breathe. And she is so happy that she gets to breathe. She's really getting to breathe. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing no underwear even at night or anything. Mm-hmm. And so I think that overall, I feel really inspired. I've had, like, men hitting on me. I'm not on any dating sites. I've had, like, men hitting on me, boy toys hitting on me. Like, I'm feeling energetic, revived, sexual, sexy. I'm back in my groove, which I kind of think I maybe lost a little bit of, while I was in the transition of my relationship ending, because I just, and so basically she's got her groove back.
Yeah.
And I've got my groove back.
Mama's got a groove back.
Got her groove back, So this is an awesome, awesome thing. And, like, I am going to, I think that one of the gifts that I'm going to give, offer on this is we're going to do like 30 days of She Love, and I'm going to give you the instructions of how to do that. And this is going to really change your life. Like, one of the reasons that I had Mia do it and not just me is because people say, oh, well, you do it, it's your idea, so you're just, kind of like, getting the benefit out of it. I wanted somebody else to do it as an outsider who could come to me and say to me, like, all of these things happened, and it wasn't just about me, because those are the things that can happen for you when you do it. And so I'm going to give 30 days of She Love, so it's going to be BonnieGayle.com/30 days. And
you guys will have that in your email.
And then I'm going to also offer you, 25% discount off of either Sex Butter or Boudoir Butter, as a secondary gift if you choose that. Because it's an amazing gift for your vagina. Amazing. And I promise you, between the two of those things, you're going to be like a new person in 30 days. It's going to be amazing, like, what happens when you take care of her.
I forgot some amazing things that happened too.
Oh, so
Well, work-wise, some amazing things happen, and I believe that it's also because of, the expansion. As we expand, we allow more in. I filmed on my birthday on August 14th. I filmed as a spiritual love advisor on a reality show. And so that was the pilot. And so that was very exciting. And then I've also in talks with creating a show of my own, besides being a co-host with, like, The View with a group of women. So these are powerful things and our vagina, as Bonnie will agree, our first and second chakra are the most powerful chakras as far as creation and energetic, sensual sensations, because that is where everything is birthed, down there. So it's beautiful to be in touch with that, because we can take that creative energy, focus it inward, even with the intention of just saying, I'm focusing, because if those of you who don't know how to do it, when you handle energy and you want to get rid of all the other crap and you want to focus in more on what you want to create, you even just say, I'm focusing, whatever the negative thoughts that you were thinking. Forget you. I'm not thinking about you now. I'm focusing all this energy back into me and what I'm creating. And when you continue with that and the other thoughts disappear, you become a real powerhouse. And so it's all about refocusing it back into yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? This is like a self-healing. I mean, it's not like one, it's a self-healing. That's what it is. It's a self-healing. And so, this is really all about you, and it shouldn't be about your partner. It shouldn't be about your children. You shouldn't be focusing on anything else, in the time that you're spending with her. Like, when you're taking a shower, it shouldn't be like, your kids screaming at you in the shower, or your husband, trying to talk to you in the shower. It should be your time with her. When you're applying, whatever it is you're applying to her. If you're self-pleasuring, it should be for you, for her, not for anything else. Because that's it's going to be like your self-meditative time with her.
Mm-hmm. Very, very important. Yeah. And moms, as you said with the kids, moms and women who are caregivers and women, period, often neglect themselves in these areas because their thoughts are always, well, no, I'll think about me later. I'll think about me later. I'll think about me later. Well, look at us.
I have no time for me.
Yeah, we're at a certain age and we've already thought about everybody else but us, and we've kept putting us off. So now is the time, and embrace and receive that love from yourself.
Yeah.
Cool.
One of the things I want to say about that, and I think that this is so important, if you don't take care of you can only give from the place of what you have received. So if you're not receiving much, you can't give much. When you fully receive for yourself, you are in such a much more powerful place to give. So, when you think, oh, well, I don't have any time for me, the thing is that the quality that you're going to give to everybody else, your kids, your husband, your friends, your lovers, or whatever, is going to be so much more if you take out that time to give to yourself.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Anything else you want to add, Bonnie?
Just that, this is such a simple process that, if you make the commitment to do, is just so beautiful. And I promise you, no matter what, you're going to feel differently. You're going to feel better. And I really hope that that you would take this challenge, because I think it's really important and it's great, and it's something that you can do for yourself that doesn't cost a lot of money and can make huge shifts in you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bonnie. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for watching, enjoying. Please write us if you have questions. And remember to love your Sheila.
Yes, love her.
Love her. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you in another segment. Bye.